Okay, so I was telling Shamus that Starfruit tree, the thing I know about Starfruit is that when you go to the store, it's like $100 a fruit.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
But they're delicious.
They're absolutely delicious, yeah. Really thirst quenching. It's got a little bit of a citrus-like flavor to it,
Okay.
but it's a very juicy fruit. I really like Starfruit, and I'm pleasantly surprised at how well Starfruit does here in Phoenix.
Yeah, a few of my friends who are into the tropicals, they have full mature Starfruit trees that love it.
Yeah,
And they're in the ground and doing great.
Yeah, I have no problems at all with my Starfruit. The one thing to keep in mind with Starfruit is you're going to probably want to put it in a more protected location, protected specifically from wind.
Oh, okay.
Wind negatively affects Starfruit.
I bet the hot wind too, like the monsoon wind.
Exactly, that drying wind. This is just not built to handle that. It can handle our heat, it can handle our lack of humidity, it can't handle that excessive drying that comes with a hot, dry wind.
I know these guys will be sensitive to overwatering too.
They can be a little bit sensitive to overwatering, and so you do have to watch that. Drainage, again, key here in our soils since we've got heavy clay soils throughout most of the valley. But if handled properly and if cared for properly, it's very easy to grow a Starfruit here that produces delicious fruit. We've probably got 4 or 5 different varieties, and most of them are pretty similar. There's some different gradations in terms of how much they produce or how large the tree gets, but we can make a recommendation based on the situation.
So when you get a fruit like this, it hangs off the tree this way. And how do you eat this sucker?
Just slice it right down the middle so that it looks like a star.
And this one I just got told is 20 seconds off the tree. So it looks pretty good.
That'll be eaten very quickly by all of us. It's a delicious fruit. It's definitely in my top 5 favorite fruits of all time.
And it does so well in Phoenix. Why wouldn't you plant a couple?
Absolutely. They're easy to care for. They're not fussy. They don't suffer from a lot of micronutrient or macronutrient deficiencies. It's just a beautiful plant, and it takes our sun surprisingly well.
That's great. Okay, so here's what it looks like. We take this Starfruit here. What's the other name for Starfruit?
Carambola.
Carambola.
And actually it's got a lot of local names where it's native, but everybody knows it as a Starfruit here.
It looks like that's what's on the inside. And you can eat the skin and all, yes?
Skin and all,
Which half do you want?
You know what? I will take the whichever half is easiest.
There you go. So
Another thing to keep in mind about a Starfruit is they're extremely productive. Once that tree starts to produce for you, it'll produce dozens and dozens of these things.
Really?
So a lot of people make jams, pies, jellies, all sorts of different things out of them. So they're really delicious. I'm really a big fan, in case you couldn't tell.
It's so good. It does taste like a sport drink.
And I'll tell you what, nothing is more refreshing during summertime than pulling a Starfruit right off the tree after you've been working in the yard. It totally is thirst quenching.
What time of year do they fruit?
Actually, an interesting thing about Starfruit, they start to form their flowers in the fall, and they'll hold their fruit over the winter, and then the fruit will mature in mid-spring here in Phoenix. Maybe a little bit earlier, depending on the location of it.
That's great.
Yeah. So it makes a nice filler for when a lot of other things aren't fruiting. You've got Starfruit available. Comes on for me right after my citrus matures. And then I've got Starfruit and mulberries start to produce at that point too. So